Okay there, Patriots. You're watching this video. Now, once you watch this video, then you'll be able to perform our Lint log research lab. There's a couple steps. Make sure you're remembering all these steps because tomorrow when you come to class, you'll be asked to perform this demo. Okay? If you have questions, please ask me there, but I'm requiring that you watch this video beforehand and that you know and understand the lab. Okay, so let's first start out with the tools that you're going to have. Our first thing is our Lint log research data sheet. You'll be working in groups of 2 to 3 people. Please put the names of each member on the appropriate line. Next, you'll be given 2 samples. Each sample will have a letter. Please specify the letter of your first sample and the letter of your second sample. Below that is a calorie formula. This formula we'll be using to figure out how many calories our lint burns. The formula is Q water equals M, which is the mass of the water, times the time difference of the temperature difference of the water times our calories. So what we'll be doing is we'll be finding out information and plugging these in. We are going to be measuring out 100 grams of water. 100 grams of water is also equal to 100 milliliters of water. I'm going to be testing you on that, so please remember, 100 grams of water is equal to 100 milliliters of water. The difference of the temperature is going to be the difference from the beginning water temperature till the end. Okay? So we'll be using this together in class. Now on this line, you'll be writing the letter for the first sample of lint that you're going to be testing. Each sample of lint will be tested 3 times. So you will be given 3 different samples of each type of lint. You'll be testing the following things. 1, you'll write in that you have how many milliliters of water. Again, it's 100 milliliters. 100 grams equals 100 milliliters. You'll also put down the weight of your sample. And the weight of your sample is 1 gram. I have already measured this out, so all you have to do is put 1 gram. Next, you'll be finding the initial water temperature. I'll be showing you that in just a minute. And the ending water temperature. So you will find it to begin with, and then at the end of each test. Then you'll be calculating the temperature difference. Last 2 things that you're going to need on each test are qualitative observations. Please look through your notes so you can remember what qualitative observations are. And finally, using this formula, you will enter how many calories this sample burns. So here are the tools and equipment that you're going to be using today for our lint research data sheet. 1 is you'll be given a sample of 2 different types of lint. You'll actually have 3 different samples of each. You'll have sample and then whatever letter it is, and then a different sample. In this case, I have sample A for my first sample and sample B for my second sample. The other tool that you're going to be using, you will have a beaker of water. Doesn't matter how much water you have, but the more, the easier it's going to be for you. You will have a graduated cylinder. We're familiar with these, measuring 2 grams at a time. Next thing we'll have is a thermometer. The thermometer measures in centigrade. So each increment, each line dash on the thermometer will measure 1 centigrade. 1 degree Celsius. The other thing you're going to have is a homemade coulometer. Now, what this is a tin can. It's got a nail. Please be very careful with it because the edges are sharp. The other part of the coulometer is this little can. It's an aluminum can that's been cut on the top, so again, be careful with this. What you'll be doing is we will be burning our lint sample, placing it on this little needle right there, it's actually a nail, placing it on there, burning, and in our tin can here we will have our 100 milliliters of water. So these two will go together to form our kilometer like that. Okay? So those are the tools that you're going to be using. Okay, so next let me show you the procedures that you're going to be doing for this. First, you're going to want to measure out 100 milliliters of water. Remember the meniscus. Meniscus is that curved surface of the water. You want to make sure that when you measure your 100 milliliters, that the bottom of the curve comes down to the 100 milliliters. You're first going to start out with your initial water temperature. Place your thermometer in, and you might have to let it set. So here's a trick. Since you have about 4, maybe 500 milliliters of water, you can save yourself some time by getting an initial reading. Place your thermometer into your 500 milliliters of water and wait until the alcohol, the red low line, goes as high as it can go. Once you have that, you can put that for your initial water temperature for all of your tests in one sample. Okay?